Hello and welcome to another episode of Sing Together, Learn Together. My name is Crystal Diaz. I'm a singer, vocal coach, and recording artist here based in Hong Kong. Funny story. I recorded this video yesterday, and when I went home to edit, it turns out for half of the video, my microphone was off. So, rookie mistake, right? So in case you're wondering why I seem to be wearing a different shirt, that is why. So today I want to talk about Gem's new song. It's called 句号, which translated to English means full stop. So when I found out that Gem was going to be releasing a new song, I was really excited, especially because I knew that she was working with a new team, from my understanding. And if you've been following her career, you'll know that she had been struggling this past publicly this past year, but it seems like, according to what she's written, she's been struggling for quite some time. And she made public some of her disputes with her management company, which we're not going to talk about in this video. But I was really excited to know that she was going to be putting out something original that was produced by herself with a new team, because I was really curious to see how she may change some of her vocals or some of her style and the direction that she would take this song. So full disclosure, I have heard this song a couple of times. I've gone through it and picked out a couple things that I thought were interesting about her performance, and the performance that I will be reviewing is the one that she did at the MTV Awards. It's a music show that was held in Taipei, I believe, just a couple of days ago. I think that was like the first live performance that's been shown on YouTube, at least, of this song, because this song was only released earlier, I think about a week ago or a week and a half ago. So before Gem became very, very well known and hit her popularity, she came to the studio to train vocally under my mother, Christine Sampson. So I've had the opportunity to see her on a number of occasions. I've never personally worked with her, but I've been backstage at her shows, and I've obviously met her at the studio a number of times. I remember my mother telling me that she had this new student and that she was very talented, and she was singing in Christina Aguilera. She was doing these runs, and she was very musical, and she had this great voice. And not only that, she's really down to earth, and she's really true to who she is. So for her to write and come up with this song and write the lyrics in the way that she did, I think is really meaningful, because she started off as being very true to herself, and I guess from what she's written past 12 years, she's struggled with this identity of what her management wanted and what she wanted for herself. And now finally she's coming to a point where she can put out the work that she's been wanting to do. And I think that makes so much sense for her to call this song Full Stop, because it's kind of like this cycle, right? It's like she started somewhere, and then she went through this journey and is now coming full circle. And in fact, this idea of full circle means not only that it's a stage in her journey where she's going to kind of embark on a new journey, but in the description box of her MTV on YouTube, she actually talks about that, or it's actually written there, that this idea of the full stop is a circle, right? So full stop is a circle. But there's a line in there that says that the view inside the circle and the view outside the circle are two very different perspectives. So I really like that metaphor. So if you look at the lyrics of her song, and I have it translated here, I found a translation of it, which I will link to in the comment box below. The first line says, "At last we came to a full stop. The reluctant hummingbird is mourning." I mean, that's straight up like a full-on description. It's not just a metaphor. It's actually a straight-up description of what has been going on, because of course her company is called Hummingbird. But I just feel like it's so cleverly done. And there's another line in this song later on. It says, "You know, all my life except for my dad, you were the man I trusted." And this line was literally taken from the public statement that she had put out, which summarized her perspective of the struggles and the challenges that she'd been going through with her company. And there's a line in there that said, you know, I think I'm obviously paraphrasing, but there's only two men I trusted, and you know, one of them has betrayed me, or something like that. I'm sure I'm quoting it wrong, but again, I will find it and link to it in in the comment box as well. So for her to take those snippets of, you know, what the public's already known of how she's been struggling, and to put it into the song, really is like her final declaration of, and her way of saying goodbye, perhaps, to a life that she once knew, and saying, you know what, it's okay for me to move forward. So before we dive into the commentary part of this video, I want to draw your attention to the link in the comment box below. It's to a free vocal exercises resource page, which I've created based on exercises that we use to train Jem, to train Joey Young, to train all the other artists that come through our doors here at the studio in Hong Kong. I've created them specifically for singers who are serious about vocal training, who really want to take their voices to the next level. And not only are they just free for you to try out, but they're guided, which means you'll be hearing me guide you through the exercises and giving you some tips on how best to apply them. So now let's jump into the commentary of her performance. So I always, if you've seen some of my videos before, you may have heard me talk about sound qualities in terms of colors. And for Jem, I feel like she really has, a part of her style is this distinct, there's two colors and two vocal qualities in this first verse. She has very, very light head voice. It's almost falsetto in quality because there's a lot of air quality in there, but it's not airy like it's uncontrollably airy. You know, she still is able to be in pitch easily and can control her sound. I mean, I don't think it's that high. Yeah, so it's a G and da 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 da, and that goes to B flat. So she's singing this whole section using that lighter quality, that light head voice, verging on falsetto quality. I hear this a lot in her songs, and usually what I hear is that she'll go into that sound, but then she'll kind of flip back down into chest voice, and then but that transition point, I mean, I can hear when she's transitioning, but it's not very obvious. So she's actually able to do it very very skillfully, and she can still blend it, but those two, if you just directly compare like that chestier tone quality that she's also very known for, compared to this lighter, headier quality, it's very distinct. Like she'll be in that chest, that more ramped up chest tone quality, and then she'll suddenly go into this one or two notes, goes into this falsetto-y light head voice quality sound, that other color, and then she goes back in, she'll do like a ad lib down, and she'll be able to mix into her chest tone quality. So that is something that she can do really well, and not all singers can do that, especially if you're not used to it, or you're just beginning as a student. You may find that if you're switching like that, you'll hear this clunk in your voice. So you know, that's one of the challenges of singing Jem songs, right? But I feel like those two sound qualities have really become part of her signature vocal style quality, and you know, she does a very good job on that. So let's continue. Okay, so you can hear, so this is what I mean, that she's like the bottom voice now, like that chestier tone quality. So it's very clearly in chest tone. You see, she goes, that's what I mean. And she just jumps up a couple of notes. But she's doing that stylistically, and she's doing it, she has great rhythm here. Really great rhythm. I love the way that she's picked her words and where she's choosing to accent to bring out that rhythmic quality. This makes me think of some of the Jay Chou quality songs. I think I did a reaction video to Jay Chou once, and I was talking about that. I was like, oh, you know, he's very rhythmic in the way that he sings his words. G. Okay, so here, same chorus, but she uses more of a full mix here. See, she mixes her chest tone in here. She goes back to the upper quality. There it is again. Goes back to that lighter quality. Comes back down to chest. And when you're listening to that, I mean, when I listen to it, it's not like I'm like, oh, she's in chest, oh, she's in falsetto. I don't really think about that. I talk about it because, you know, for the purpose of this video, you know. But if I'm just listening to a song, I'm just feeling how she's expressing using the different qualities of her voice. So other singers might do something different. There are people who mix, who have a very clean middle range, and what they do is they can go from like this chest tone quality, very obviously chest tone quality, into this middle range and into their upper register without entering this very, very light, almost verging on falsetto-y quality of sound. And they can live there. They can just stay on this core sound quality. That's also very, very challenging to do. I love both styles. My voice tends to be more on the non-flipping side, just because of the way that I've developed my own style. But I really appreciate singers who can play around with their sound in a way that enhances the story of her song. I get the feeling that this song, it really is a statement piece. It's not her typical power ballad love songs that typically students will ask to learn how to sing, you know, like Pao Mo, or I mean, there's so many, right, of gem songs. But I still appreciate the song for what it is, because I think that it's a message. So for her to compose it this way, where it's kind of a little bit talking in the verses, I think makes sense. And going back to this is that statement piece that I was talking about. It's just like it's pretty much a rap, right? This is a great line in the song. Okay, so here's her notes, her ad-libs. Okay, so I want to look at these ad-libs. Okay. It's almost a requirement, right? I feel like in this section of the song, if she didn't have that ad-lib and she just let the backup singers sing the chorus, or I feel like it wouldn't really stick out as a gem song anymore, right? She's got to do something, right? I mean, that's very typical of her style. We're almost expecting that. Where's her high note? Where's her belt, right? So I've heard her recorded version, and this, of course, is her live version. Here, she's coming at it a little bit with a lot of airflow pressing in. And I think that you could say that she's doing it with that emotional intention behind it. So I like that. I'm not faulting it at all. However, again, purely from a perspective of vocal technique, if I'm just picking apart what I'm hearing. So if we go back a little bit, what I did here is that she went from the chorus and then she goes into this ad-lib, but she swung into the ad-lib in a little bit more of an aggressive way. Not aggressive like she's shouting, she's not. It's very pressed in. There's a lot of air pressure behind the sound. And I think that that's fine, except that I think it does cause a little bit of problems for her at the tail end. So I want to see if you guys pick that up. I'm going to replay it again, and then I'll point out where I'm hearing where that problem comes in. I mean, it's so minor. You know, I wouldn't be like, oh, Gem has a problem. She doesn't. I'm just saying that the way that she's entering it, because she's doing it with a lot of that emotional intention, she's pushing a lot of air through her sound. You know, this is like the climactic moment of her song. I just want to show you guys what happens at the end there. See if we can hear it. Oops. Okay, here we go. This part's okay. This part is very good. This one. Well, okay, so there, you hear that? I'm gonna play that again just because it was so fast, right? Her first section, if we broke it into sections, her ad-lib, right? Her first one was great. She like super controlled her notes. She was like, you know, paying attention to it, was good. But the minute she went, 一个句号, I think it was 一个句号. The minute she did that ad-lib, she went, you can hear that, and it's cranking up a lot of air into that sound. And then the sustain became a bit problematic, just a little bit. Have a listen. This is good. Clean, nice. This one. Oh, it's still good. She still pulls it off. I'm still hearing a slight, again. Okay, so even here. So when she goes up after that when she goes 一个句号, right? And she goes 一个句号, she really cranks that in. There's a couple notes at the end that almost could be a little bit pitchy, but she still pulled it off. Like she still controlled it. She pulled it off the whole thing. But you can hear it's a little bit like, oh, she's holding on to that note a little bit because there's a lot of air that she has to suddenly control, right? Because she put a lot of air through. And then even after the ad-lib after that, still there was the sustain there, similar issue, almost going a little pitchy, but she still pulls it off. So, you know, that's great on her. But what happens is, and then this is so subtle again, but after she comes off of the ad-lib, she goes back to the low notes. But because she's just done, I mean, if you just think about it logistically, like she's put a lot of air through her sound, and then all of a sudden she has to go to this lower notes, and they're that talking kind of quality. But then she has to almost pull back a lot of her air because there's just too much air coming out because of the momentum of the ad-lib before. So she's pushing a lot of air through, and then she has to suddenly minimize. It's like, I got to cut all this air out now because I got to sing these low notes. She still pulls it off, but you can hear the low notes are not as clean. Again, if you compare it to her verses and things like that. And for me, when I hear that, I think it's, you know, for me, I see it as a result of the fact that she put a lot of air through. So, you know, again, if she were to do it again, I would probably advise her to hold back on some of the air in that second ad-lib. But like I said, you know, this is so minor. She still pulls it off. She's still, you know, a top-notch singer. I love what she does with her vocals. But again, I'm just letting you know what I hear. Let's carry on. I feel like this is one of her more relaxed songs, though, you know, except for that ad-lib. Everything is very kind of easy to sing, so it's really more about the story behind the song and the rhythm and the groove. And that's it. This is a great song for her to have as an in-betweener, you know, like if she has a concert and she has some big numbers and she needs a relaxing song to recover. This will be a great one to put in there, and then she can really just focus on not worry too much about the high notes or the difficult parts of the song, because there's only that one ad-lib section. And it's not that high, considering some of the notes that I know she can hit. And it's nice for a singer to always have songs like this in their repertoire that are still meaningful, that still tell a great story, and that she can still you know, do some great things stylistically with her voice. Overall, I like the song. It's a bit different from the gem songs that I'm typically asked to teach students to sing. So I'm used to working with students on some of the bigger notes that she does. But I still appreciate the song for what it is. Above all, it is such a important song in her career, and so brave of her to tell this story, and in such an honest and heartfelt way. So bravo, Gem. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Shoot me a comment as well for suggestions of songs that you would like me to kind of do commentary on. I'm not a huge fan of the straight up reaction videos. just because I really like to add value to students. And so I like to go through the songs and really have some specific points that I think are noteworthy, that you guys would find helpful as students of vocal students, right? So, send me some suggestions of songs that you want me to comment on, and then I'll check them out. And of course, if you want straight up vocal technique tips, then do check out my new playlist, which is called Singing Sessions. And that one is really dedicated to helping singers more on the practical level. I'm all about the music industry and what it's like to be a singer and how you can be the singer that you've always wanted to be. So do check that playlist out, Singing Sessions. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys next time.